In January 2014, the body of 18-year-old Heather Malone was found in the living room of a suburban home in Brookhaven, Georgia. An investigation uncovered the disturbing details of her obsessive relationship with high school coach Nathan Ellis. Beginning in the fall of 2013 at Brookhaven High School, a series of events unfolded that would spiral into jealousy, betrayal, and ultimately a night of devastating violence. Nathan Ellis had always been the kind of man people gravitated toward. At just 28 years old, his charm and natural ability to connect with others made him a perfect fit for his role as the new basketball coach at Brookhaven High School. His players admired him, not just for his skills, but for how he seemed to truly care about their development on and off the court. Nathan wasn't just their coach, he was their mentor, a figure they could look up to. Nathan's personal life seemed just as perfect as his professional one. He had recently married Hannah, his college sweetheart, in a beautiful ceremony on April 14, 2012. Hannah was a kindergarten teacher, known throughout the town for her gentle demeanor and her love for children. Together, they had just moved into a cozy 3-bedroom house on the edge of Brookhaven. The house wasn't large, but it was full of possibilities. Space for a nursery, a backyard for a swing set, and a future filled with the kind of love and warmth that Nathan and Hannah dreamed of. For Nathan, the transition to married life was both exciting and challenging. Balancing the demands of his new job and his commitment to Hannah required more energy than he had anticipated. Hannah, ever supportive, encouraged him to pour his passion into his coaching, assuring him that they would always find time for each other. They spent weekends decorating their home and talking about their plans for the future. Hannah even started collecting baby names, carefully jotting them down in a small notebook she kept by the bed. Heather Malone, meanwhile, was living a very different life. At 17 years old, she was the star cheerleader of Brookhaven High School. Her stunning looks and outgoing personality made her the center of attention wherever she went. But behind her radiant smile was a girl desperate for love and stability. Heather had grown up in a broken home with parents who were more interested in their own arguments than in raising their daughter. Her father had left when she was 10, and her mother, battling alcoholism, barely managed to keep their small apartment livable. Heather had learned early on how to fend for herself. The instability at home shaped Heather into a master manipulator. She knew how to use her beauty and charm to get what she wanted, and she wasn't afraid to push boundaries to escape the chaos of her personal life. Despite her popularity at school, Heather carried a deep sense of insecurity. She longed for someone to see beyond her exterior, someone who would provide her with the love and validation she never received at home. Nathan became that someone. It started innocently enough. It was September 2012, and Nathan had been at Brookhaven High for just a few months. Heather often stayed late after cheerleading practice, lingering near the gym to watch the basketball team. At first, it was just a harmless crush. She admired how confident Nathan was, how he commanded respect from his players while maintaining a sense of approachability. To Heather, he wasn't just a coach. He was the kind of man she imagined could save her from the life she desperately wanted to leave behind. For Nathan, Heather's attention was flattering. He was adjusting to his new role as a husband and a coach, but the pressures of both were starting to weigh on him. The late nights spent reviewing game strategies often meant less time with Hannah, who was busy managing her classroom of energetic 5-year-olds. When Heather began complimenting him, praising his coaching skills, or commenting on his leadership, Nathan felt a sense of validation he hadn't realized he craved. By October 2012, their interactions had become more frequent. Heather found reasons to talk to Nathan after practice, sometimes asking for advice about school or claiming she needed help with her cheer routines. Nathan, caught off guard by her attention, but unwilling to be rude, always obliged. Their conversations were initially lighthearted, but over time they became more personal. Heather spoke about her struggles at home, how she often felt like no one cared about her, how she longed for a better life. Nathan, with his natural tendency to mentor and support, found himself feeling protective of her. One evening in late October, after a particularly grueling practice, Nathan stayed late in his office to finish some paperwork. Heather knocked on the door, claiming she had left her phone in the gym. When she entered, she thanked him for always being so kind to her. Heather spoke about how much she admired him, not just as a coach, but as a person. She told him he was the only adult who seemed to truly care about her. For Nathan, the moment was emotionally complicated. He saw Heather as a troubled young woman looking for guidance, but the intensity of her words made him feel something he wasn't ready to acknowledge. The line between teacher and student began to blur, and Nathan, though hesitant, didn't stop it from happening. By November 2012, their meetings had become more frequent. What started as casual conversations in the gym turned into private moments in Nathan's office after hours. Heather, emboldened by Nathan's initial kindness, began to push boundaries. She dressed more provocatively during practices, ensuring she caught his attention. Nathan, battling a growing sense of guilt, tried to rationalize their interactions. He told himself he was simply being a mentor, a source of stability in Heather's chaotic life. But Heather wanted more. She craved Nathan's attention and grew frustrated when he tried to keep their relationship professional. She began testing him, lingering longer after practice, accidentally brushing against him during conversations, and finding excuses to text him outside of school hours.